Now he's starting to go. Oh! I told you.
Moving to the ropes, and now Carrington has him cornered. Stop!
Dun, 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 dun. The morning after. Block! Block! Listen, I'm confused. And I'm totally confused. I'm confused by the outrage that's going on about Iron Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Paul!
South Paw, South Jersey, South Camden, South Paw. You know what I mean?
But listen, not only am I confused about that, I enjoyed the event. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I just wanted you to know, in this video, we will be talking about Iron Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. We'll talk about that first and my final thoughts on that. We'll also be talking about William Zapeda versus Tevin Farmer. That was a split decision win for William Zapeda and what I think about that. Also, Zurdo Ramirez versus Billiam Smith. And we'll talk some Undisputed as well because they've had all those updates. All right. Look, man, listen. Not only am I confused that there's an outrage about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, but I enjoyed the event. And it's no secret, you guys already know. I really marketed the event. I talked about it a lot. I covered the event. My agent and I, we signed a deal with MVP to be a part of the event. And I was there and it was live and I just thoroughly enjoyed myself. And here's the reason why. Because it was great for boxing. And that's the black Tortugas, a little bit of cream. Okay, let me explain myself. I know people are going to jump in the comments and come up with bad things to say about me. But allow me to explain myself a little bit before you guys start bitching and complaining in the comments. Listen, I said this repeatedly about the event. I thought it was great for boxing. 65 million homes as of right now, the first round of looking at the views, just the first round. Don't forget, you don't really get the real numbers until like this week, Tuesday, or maybe it's 10 days. It's 10 days after. You don't really get the real numbers. So 65 million homes as of right now saw the fight. But what I like, and like I said before, is 65 million homes saw Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. They saw Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. A portion of that 65 million homes saw Shadacia Green versus Watpool. They saw Lucas Body. They saw Bruce Shushu Carrington. Listen, I said that this fight, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, was a spectacle. And I'm all for it because they put real boxing on the undercard. I want you guys to try to understand this. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2 is a main event on its own. The first one was a main event that sold out Madison Square Garden. So if you remove Iron Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, that card is incredible. Shushu Carrington, Shadacia Green, Lucas Body, Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos for the WBC title. And then as a main event, you got Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2. That is an amazing event. But then just as a cherry on the sundae, you have the spectacle of Iron Mike Tyson's return. And let's not get it twisted. Everybody came to see Iron Mike Tyson because he did a great job getting in shape for this fight. I mean, he looked like a machine, and it just felt good to all of us, for all of us. And I participated. I put $12,000 on my bookie, and I lost the whole damn thing. And I'm happy I did because that may be the last time we ever see Iron Mike Tyson in the ring. It was definitely a huge event. I participated and I put my money on Mike, right? I went with my heart and Mike lost and I lost money with him. I feel great about that. Like historically, ShowBizz the adult, he lost money. and on putting money on Iron Mike Tyson at 58 years old, that makes me feel, honestly, I wouldn't have had it no other way, other than if Mike Tyson would have won, I would have lost my damn mind. Another thing I'm confused about is that all the way up, leading up to the fight for a year, all right? Think about it. The fight was actually delayed, and it's supposed to have happened in July. All I kept hearing is how ridiculous the fight was. Iron Mike Tyson is old. You know, this is, people thought it was scripted and all these things and thought it was going to be shit. And then they showed up and then they say, I hate this, it's shit. Right? I mean, if that's what you expected, then why did you show up? You showed up because maybe you were hoping to see something else, right? And then afterwards you say, I told you so. But really, for me, and I was hoping at least for our war room, I'm not sure if the war room feels this way, and I hope you guys do, but for me, I was happy for Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos, and I was happy for those. I was happy for Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, and those fights, they did not let us down. Those fights were action-packed. Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos may have been the fight of the night. And the fight following that was probably the fight of the night. So I'm like I said, for me, I just enjoyed myself. I saw Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor as really the main fight, the main card. And I saw Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson as the cherry on a Sunday spectacle that brought all the eyes to these fighters who need recognition. Which is why Iron Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was great for boxing. Now, let's talk about William Zapeda versus Tevin Farmer. Let's talk about that real quick. That fight was amazing. Tevin Farmer did what he does, okay? He's always going to be a tough out, very good fighter, slick fighter. But let me tell you, I know Shakur Stevenson and William Zapeda are supposed to fight in February, and I'm questioning that because that fight with Tevin Farmer was a hard fight. He may need more time off. He was knocked down in a fight and shit like that. But I don't want you guys to look at Zapeda versus Tevin Farmer as a split decision, razor-thin fight with Zapeda being knocked down as, well, Shakur Stevenson is better than Tevin Farmer, so it's going to be that much. It's going to be one-sided for Shakur Stevenson to win. Not exactly, because styles make fights. I'm not sure if Shakur Stevenson can swat like Tevin Farmer. And I mean, if he can punch harder, he's not as committed to landing harder punches than Tevin Farmer. I guess that's what I mean. Also, I don't know how durable Shakur Stevenson is right now as far as his hands. With Zapeda coming forward and punching the volume with the volume that he punches with, I'm not sure if Shakur Stevenson's hands can hold up to sit down and land the type of shots that Tevin Farmer was landing. Also, Shakur Stevenson tend to get on his back foot a bit, get on his bicycle a bit. Tevin Farmer was right in the pocket, making a miss, and he was right in position to land great, crisp shots, okay? So you got to have the courage and the bravery to do that. I'm not saying that Shakur Stevenson isn't a brave fighter. I'm just saying stylistically, that's not really how he approaches a fight when somebody is bigger than him. No, don't forget. Shakur Stevenson was doing that at 130 and stuff like that, but he tends to move around a little bit more at 135, and Zapeda is going to be very aggressive going forward. I'm not sure if Shakur Stevenson is going to sit in the pocket. If he does, I'm worried about the durability of his hands, of being able to land the hard shots constantly on Zapeda to discourage him from pressing forward and throwing all those volume shots. Now, let's talk about Zurdo versus William Smith. Good fight, but he started Zurdoing right after from the middle of the fight on. He just started applying his pressure, busting up William Smith, and now he's in line to fight Jai Opetaia. Listen, I think Jai Opetaia has the goods, and I think the way Zurdo fights, he's going to be wide open for the straight shots right down the middle from Jai Opetaia. I think Jai Opetaia hurts Zurdo. And a lot of people are saying that, but Zurdo is like, nah, Zurdo definitely believes in himself, as he should. But when you look at it stylistically, Jai Opetaia, I'm not sure if Zurdo is the guy. I'm not sure if he's the guy to beat Jai Opetaia. And plus, I think Jai is special. I do. And I think he's only getting better and better. I just think the way Zurdo is squared up and the way he pressed forward, I think Jai Opetaia beats Zurdo and he hurts him badly. Now, let's talk about Undisputed. There were a lot of complaints about Undisputed and the haymaking system and no penalties and the stamina stuff. Hell, I had those issues myself. But I did know that there was a fun factor there, all right? But, and I told a lot of you spammers, you guys gonna really be hurt after the update. I tried to warn you. I stayed boxing, so my foundation is good. After the update, I'm boxing like I always do, and I'm doing very well. The haymaking shit is done. The stamina, you get penalized big time. You can't throw too many punches in a row. Definitely not punches that are modified. Not happening. What I like about the update is this. If it works for me, all right, so it falls right to my hands. I'm a boxing purist, and I love boxing, shooting one punch at a time, do a little combination, move around, work on my defense and stuff like that. So it works for me. Okay, personally, I love it. All right, I like it better than how it was when it launched, and I didn't know how bad it was going to be, right? Because I don't box spamming. So when it first launched, I was like, this is the greatest boxing game, clearly. I still think it was. But I didn't know people were going to be assholes. Now, with this update, I've noticed that a lot of these guys are looking for another spam. And it's hilarious, right? They're trying to find a spam, all right? Because people, for some reason, people buy boxing games not to box. They just can't stand boxing. So they're trying to find a spam, and I'm cracking up as I'm whooping ass. The best part about Undisputed, what I like about the update now, is that fights, all the matches I'm in, look like boxing matches. It doesn't look like a video game cheesy shit because it doesn't work. So you got people pacing themselves more and being defensively responsible more. And it makes the look of the video game, the look of the fight, look like a boxing match, at least when I play. I would love to know what you all think in the comments below, but let's look at these highlights. We're in the zone, war room.
We're in the zone, war room.
To upset the apple cart here in Saudi Arabia tonight. Live from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, scheduled for 10 rounds, William Zapeda in the black, Tevin Farmer in the brown and orange.
And this is a beautiful clash of styles. I mean, southpaw versus southpaw, but two completely different left-handers. You got a guy in Zapeda who throws 100 punches around, and a guy like Farmer, who's a former champion, who's more of a boxer on the back foot, really good with his upper body and hard to hit with a clean shot.
Farmer adamant this week after hearing of the rumors of Zapeda versus Stevenson next, saying, look, he's got to get past me. I'm the top dog, and you can't be the top dog unless you beat the top dog.
I don't agree with that, Sergio, and I hate that. He can play the spoiler by going the distance. You got to come to win. This could be the last major.
Nice left hand there from Farmer, speaking of spoilers.
Two left hands.
Right, you said that, Chris.
Good shot. That's what I want to see from Tevin Farmer. Not an attempt to hold and survive, an attempt to win the fight, because this could be Tevin's last chance to fight on a big stage.
And you see where Tevin's holding that backhand? He's waiting for Zapeda to try to counter, and that's where he countered with that double left hand. See, Tevin's being defensively responsible, just catching these shots and rolling, countering back.
Anytime Zapeda gets him near the ropes, the first instinct should be block what's coming and come back with counter shots to the body.
Of course, you longtime DAZN viewers will recognize Tevin Farmer. He was one of the faces of the network during its entry into the boxing space, one of Matchroom's first high-profile signees. William Zapeda, like many Mexican fighters, comes from humble beginnings. Both of his parents were shoemakers in Mexico.
The thing about Zapeda, what makes his front hand so dangerous is that he's a converted southpaw, so his strong hand is that right hand, so it's a power jab, and it could be an uppercut, it could be a right hook. That's his power punch. He does all that dominating and controlling with opponents with that lead right hand, which is his dominant hand.
There's a left hand from Farmer. Any lulls in the action, Farmer takes advantage. There's just not enough lulls in the action from Zapeda.
Standing his ground. He's digging his heels and trying to get some power. Farmer is in those combinations.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do, because, you know, Zapeda right now has no respect for him, and he's just coming at him nonstop.
You know what, Gabe? When you said back him up. I'm like, that's going to be a hard task.
Yeah, but
Southpaws can actually box you in circles and still back you up somehow on the heel.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait, he needs the pressure box. You know what I mean?
You know, to me, Zapeda has to keep taking steps back when Farmer comes in like this. He's just leaning on him, and Zapeda can't let him do that.
the pressure box. I like that.
Let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard. Unofficial, of course.
Yeah, I've got it 2-1 in favor of William Zapeda. I did think Tevin Farmer did enough with his power punching in that second round to squeeze it out. Third round, much clearer for William Zapeda. I think Tevin's done a decent job of blunting the output of Zapeda, but he's not doing enough offensively, I think, to win many of these early rounds.
Catch and shoot shot from Farmer.
Spoke too soon.
Tevin switched it up and he stood his ground and he started training with Zapeda. Man, right here, Tevin's just throwing some nice short shots. Quick left counter off the top. Dead on the money. And Zapeda didn't see that coming. The shot you don't see coming is the shot that hurts you.
You know, we mentioned Tevin Farmer coming off to that loss to Raymond Muay. He walked away feeling he did more than enough to win, so he's coming in with confidence.
And Tev landed a good left uppercut and a left hand over the top.
Clean uppercut. It was like a 45-degree punch. It turned the whole cheek, the whole jaw of Zapeda.
Tevin's the bigger puncher up until this point. Zapeda might be the sharper puncher, but Tevin is the bigger puncher right now.
You know, we've seen Tevin Farmer fight several times. We know him as a pure boxer, but he also has guts. He has heart, man, and with the experience that he's garnered around the years, I mean, this is why he's ready for this moment.
Caught him again. That was as clean as a whistle.
Well, he has guts, man. He's a Philadelphia fighter.
Yep.
Most Philadelphia fighters have big hearts.
Jabber stats, 637 punches thrown for Zapeda, which is outrageous. 418, pretty darn good as well. Look at the high impact landed punches, Sergio. Farmer, 7 better.
7 better, and look at exactly the accuracy. They both landed at the same percentage.
Nice shots right there.
Boy, Zapeda just doesn't stop throwing.
He mauls you.
Showing a lot of character and heart after getting up off the canvas.
That's some good body work right there by Zapeda. Oh, boy.
Not a good look here for Farmer with a minute and a half to go. He's got to pick up the pace.
And Zapeda's landing that good right hook to the body.
And I was talking to Panda Nahar in the corner of William Zapeda. It feels like things are going pretty well for his guys. And he wants him to profile a little bit more. Stay away from that left hand of Tevin Farmer. When they get into these clinches, to avoid getting held, just let his hands go to the body.
Oh, Zapeda investing in the body now.
And that's a gut shot right in the midsection. You know, I would like to see Farmer, instead of throwing 2 shots, throw 4 shots. Throw 4 punch combinations.
A little bit more output to keep up with this guy, but it's just so tough.
You know, but to be honest with you, Todd, Farmer looks good. He looks like the Farmer of old. It's just Zapeda is just a machine.
Yeah.
Look, if this doesn't go Tevin Farmer's way, he'll have lost 2 fights in a row.
Oh, nice stick jab. That was a power jab.
And Tarver needs to go back to that jab. You know, he's trading short shots, but he kind of abandoned the jab.
He's fighting Zapeda's fight now.
Either way, a world-class effort from Farmer, I think, doing better than almost anyone thought he would do.
I've got William Zapeda taking the lead over these final couple of rounds, 86-84, sweeping the last 4 rounds on my scorecard.
Big shot there from Farmer. Can you imagine what a knockdown would do for him? He's already got 1.
Those shots hurt Zapeda. Zapeda's backing up. See, Farmer needs to just walk Zapeda back in this round. It's the last final round.
It looked like this was Farmer's round after those massive power punches, but Zapeda came alive afterwards. There's another combination from Farmer, and that will do it.
Judge Predrag Alexic scores it 95-94. 95-94 for Zapeda. Judge Junbei Lim scores it 95-94, 95-94 for Farmer. And Judge Fernando Villarreal scores it 95-94, 95-94. For your winner by split decision, para el ganador por decisión dividida. And now, the WBC interim lightweight champion of the world,